Okay, so we are here. And why are we here? We are here because we are that which exists inside consciousness. We are a perception machine inside consciousness. We are perceiving life, we are perceiving the world, and we are aware of our own perception. We can see that which we experience. We can be aware of the fact that we are perceiving the world as we perceive it. We are produced as this something that exists here and now because there is something that gives us life. What is it that gives us life? We are produced by the human program. We are produced by the human program, and the human program is the interaction between the brain and the nervous system. In this domain that we live, inside the human program, within consciousness, we are, so to speak, a perception machine. We are condemned to perception, you could say. We are an open eye to the world. We cannot close our eyes to the world or to ourselves, to our own perception. We cannot turn off our own perception. Even when we close our eyes, we cannot turn off our own perception. So we are, in some sense, a perception machine that lives inside consciousness, that exists in consciousness. And this perception machine that we are is receiving experiences which we react to. There's something in us that reacts to the experiences that we have. These reactions become our programs. These reactions are the foundation of that which will become our interpretation machine. There is something in the human program that adds to our interpretation machine simply by physics, so to speak, simply by the human program in itself. It's the categories through which we experience life. It's the categories of perception, you could say. But there's also an individual part, a cultural part, and that is our own reactions to that we experience. The nature, the natural part of our interpretation machine is that which comes with the human program, and the cultural part, you could say, is the individual part, is that which we as humans react to when it comes to our experiences, and of course to things that we experience as traumatic. Because it's basically the experiences that are traumatic to something, to some subtle sensitivity inside of us, that creates the reactions that we have. So we have a subtle, sensitive part within our psyche, within the psyche, that exists as an entity within the human program, and this subtle, sensitive organism or machine or soul or heart inside us is that which reacts to experience. These reactions become a part of that which is our interpretation machine. We make interpretations on the basis of that which the perception machine gives to us. And the perception machine in us is not only reality, it's also the way that we create or recreate reality through our interpretation machine. So there's a circle here. It's a tautology, it's a circle. The interpretation machine gives information to that which becomes our programs, our scripts, the narratives in which we live. And this interpretation machine will, of course, deliver the material for the projection machine. We will make our own projections according to our interpretations. And our interpretations are made on the basis of our own reactions that we have from the experience from the experiences in life. And these experiences we get because we are a perception machine, because we are always naked, we are always there for the world, receiving that which the world gives us as experience. So we live inside a consciousness that has inside it a perception machine, and this perception machine is that which gives us the experiences, and the experiences come to some part of our sensitive, subtle psyche that creates reactions, and these reactions become our interpretational programs, our programs of interpretation, our paradigms in life, our beliefs about life. And these are that which are our subtle projections and also our bigger projections. The subtle projection is already inside the interpretation machine. And when we go into the world of communication and conflict or argument, the projections become stronger and they become like narratives and paradigms. Because that's how communication works. Communication is, in many sense, a little bit like a war of cognition. It's a war of concepts. It's a war of words. It's a war of narratives, or it's a mix of narratives. It's a mosaic of narratives that interact, but also sometimes are in conflict with each other. And so argument or debate occurs, whether inside ourselves in a subtle way or in an outspoken argument in social life. But I give this talk just to give a little bit of awareness to the perception machine that we are or have inside ourselves. Perhaps it's better to say that we have a perception machine inside ourselves that is linked or tied to our consciousness. And this perception machine gives us the experience of life, gives us all the experiences that we do experience. And these experiences come to the subtle, sensitive part of our psyche that also comes with the human program, the subtle, sensitive part of our psyche that have reactions, an emotional reaction, emotional and psychological reactions to that which we experience. And because of these experiences, we come into interpretation patterns according to our reactions that make us create beliefs about the world, beliefs about life, beliefs about other people and about ourselves. And then the programs are more or less finished, and we are living in a projection. We are living in a version of that which is the world. We are living in an individual paradigm. We are living in one image or one part of the mosaic that is the variety of life, that is the variety in this world. And we have varieties within ourselves because we have experienced so many things, so many different things, and we have many different reactions. So we should see from time to time that we are a product of that which we do experience. We are a product of our experience. And because we experience our experiences in a naked way inside our subtle, sensitive psyche, we become deeply affected by this, which leads to reactions, which then again leads to interpretations and beliefs about the world. So this is like a basic ABC setup. It's like the basics of neuroscientific psychology, you could say. When it comes to archetypes, psychological archetypes, it's very difficult to find out whether they have true, authentic, original significance or not, if they are fundamental or if they are simply a product of culture, if they are a product of culture over time. So they have slowly manifested certain beliefs and interpretation systems inside of us because we are educated into it, we are conditioned into certain paradigms. But to see this makeup, to see this structure of the machinery, so to speak, is helpful. And it makes sense to take a look at it, because this is what we're living in. We're living in a perception machine. We're living in our own experiences, of our own experiences, and we are always in some way or another, connected to our interpretation machine, which leads to the projections and the beliefs that we have. So this is a little bit of a presentation of that which can be said to be the basic mechanics of the human program, of that which we all have as an apparatus inside of us. And in order to make this machine and apparatus and system work in the best way possible, we should gain as much knowledge as we can about it, so that we can avoid blindness, cognitive blindness, intellectual blindness, superstition, and of course ideological violations, discriminations that are in essence a violation of something that could be deeply humane, that could be a part of our common human situation. So the more self-insight we have and the more knowledge and understanding we have of the human program, the more we are able to create a better world for each and every one in a true democratic and flexible way that is based on insight instead of projection and superstition. Because superstition is that which comes to the mind of those who do not have too much insight. So the people who live in active projections with a lot of superstition present in it and personal preferences when it comes to interpretation become very often violators in this world. Politicians or world leaders that can create huge damage in this world and who can give suffering to a lot of people simply because they don't know how to accept human diversity, human variety, human manifestation in all its forms, without actually condemning it, but understanding it and finding a proper and an appropriate way of relating to it, because that's what we need. We need an appropriate way of relating to that which comes from our human program. That's what we need. We need an appropriate way to relate to and deal with that which is our human nature and our everyday life in this world as we live it as human beings coming from a human program that has interpretation machines and projection machines embedded inside the system itself. Thank you.